Shabbat Shalom, family. Boy, I woke up to this at 5 in the morning, where Donald Trump went out on Truth Social and said they have captured Maduro. And actually, his wife was there and she was taken along with Maduro. So he was boarded onto a U.S. military plane and flown out of Venezuela. Venezuela was bombed. The land was bombed. And, you know, I don't know how the people feel. I've been seeing videos. Some of the people were happy, some are not. But at the end of the day, we know things never go well when the US removes a leader. We saw what happened with Libya. See, the US will do this without any backup plan. That's why Libya fell apart. Their focus was to take Muammar Gaddafi out. And then after that, the country went into complete chaos. And it's never been the same since. So some of y'all might be cheering, but I'm just telling you, whenever the US do this, it's never a good thing for the country that lose their leader. So we shall see what happens, but I don't think Venezuela is going to hold up too well. You're looking at a country that really didn't have a lot to begin with. And remember, Donald Trump did this without the consent of Congress. But one thing I do know, y'all, look at how they're starting out their new year, the Gentiles' new year. They're starting it out in war. And right there, this place is falling apart. It is. Donald Trump, in my opinion, did this to take the focus off of the Epstein files. You notice this apprehension of Maduro happened after those thousands and thousands of pages of Epstein files came out that talked about graping, naming people and everything. All of a sudden, he runs in there and snatch up Maduro, you know. But y'all, one thing I can honestly say, I am grateful to the Most High for allowing us to live in these final days to watch this place fall apart. So, usually the plan is remove the leader. After the leader is gone, now the US is free to go in there and pillage the resources of that country. They're not going to do anything to keep the country under control. They just want the resources. So they don't care what those folks do. They can fight among each other. The US ain't going to stop the infighting. They're just going to go in there, keep wherever the resources are safe so they can go in there and pillage the land and do whatever they want and leave with all the goodies, you know? But we know they do have Afro Venezuelans, and those are our people, but not the light and bright ones, the ones that are the children of the conquistadors. No, those are not that's not our family. Those are usually the ones that come over here. So the ones that are there, I pray they are safe, and the Most High will watch over the ones that love and care about him. But as for the rest of them, nah, I ain't feeling y'all. And Donald Trump is still snatching their butts out of here. He doesn't care if there's no leader and there's civil wars going on. He's going to deport y'all the hell up on out of here. He doesn't care what he's sending you into. Look, the Haitians are going to be out of here in about a month. He's going to start pulling their butts out of here. And we already know the gangs have taken over Haiti. He doesn't care. He gonna take those folks and deport them back there, and he doesn't care what happens to them. So it's not going to stop the deportation of the Venezuelans that are here illegally. It will not stop your deportation. So, y'all, I just hope it don't blow up beyond this point. I don't want to see our young people, especially the ones in our Hebrew families, get hauled off to war for this country. I don't want to see that. And I hope it don't lead to that as well. But Venezuela, Donald Trump really lied to get this whole thing started. Venezuela never dropped a lot of drugs into the US. That is a false. But that's what he put out there for the American people. But you know what the funny part is? When I go online and I look at the videos and everything, the majority of the people didn't even believe Donald Trump. They didn't believe Donald Trump, and they did not believe he should have been blowing up all those boats. They did not believe he should have been messing with Venezuela at all. But, this is how regime change happens, and the sad part is Venezuela, from now on, you're gonna have a Western nation puppet government in there. You're gonna have they're gonna be people that look like you, but they're gonna do everything the Western nations want them to do. That's what you're gonna have in Venezuela. You're gonna have a puppet government. All the strings will be pulled by the US. So, y'all, let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you.
A remarkable statement by President Trump on a social media post saying that the US has carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolás Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with US law enforcement. Details to follow. An incredible development in this, and one that seems to have not have been expected by Venezuelan authorities. We still don't know where President Maduro and his wife will be now. All we know from President Trump's statement is that they were captured and flown out of the country. We have not heard anything from Venezuela.
What was that?
Getting land, oil rights, whatever we had. They took it away because we had a president that maybe wasn't watching. But they're not going to do that. We want it back. They took our oil rights. We had a lot of oil there. As you know, they threw our companies out, and we want it back.
There have been a series of explosions in the Venezuelan capital, Caracas. Authorities in Venezuela are blaming the US, calling it military aggression, following growing tensions between the two countries. The Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro has declared a national emergency. Well, Rosie Dowsing joins me now. Rosie, did the US order these strikes?
Well, Charlie, there's been no official statement or response from the White House or the Pentagon yet, but the American broadcaster CBS is reporting that a US official told them that the US did order these strikes. And certainly, as you say, a Venezuelan statement from the government blames these explosions on military aggression by the US. What we do know for sure, though, is a series of 7 explosions were heard in the Venezuelan capital of Caracas in the early hours of this morning. Videos show huge plumes of smoke rising into the sky, and the Venezuelan president, Nicolás Maduro, has declared a national emergency. This comes after escalating tensions. The US military has been targeting alleged drug smuggling boats, and for months, Trump has been threatening that he could order strikes on Venezuelan land. And now we can report that Maduro has been captured. This is an ongoing situation. Donald Trump says President Maduro has now been captured. All eyes are on how this situation develops.
We have some news just to hand out of Venezuela. Loud noises have been heard in the capital of Caracas this morning. These are some pictures we've just got in. Also heard in the southern area of the city near a major military base, which is reportedly without power. Aeroplanes have been heard and a column of smoke has also been visible in the capital.
Breaking news: in a stunning overnight operation, U.S. Special Forces have captured Venezuelan leader Nicolás Maduro alive. According to Pentagon sources, a covert team of Navy SEALs stormed a secure compound in Caracas under the cover of darkness. Within minutes, Maduro was taken into custody and flown to an undisclosed location. This is the most daring U.S. raid in Latin America in decades. Witnesses reported explosions, helicopters circling the capital, and gunfire near Maduro's residence before the official announcement broke worldwide. President Trump is expected to address the nation within hours, calling the operation a turning point in Washington's campaign against drug cartels and authoritarian regimes in the hemisphere. Reactions are already pouring in. Venezuela's military is in chaos, with loyalists vowing retaliation, while opposition leaders celebrate what they call the end of dictatorship. Russia and China, Maduro's big
Mamá, huevo, ¿qué mierda es esta?
Amor. Ay, no. Mira eso. Yo el peo en esta mierda, yo.
From the President of the United States. The United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolás Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow, according to the president. There will be a news conference, he says, today at 11 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago. He then punctuates it, as he often does, with thanks for your attention to this matter. It is signed by the president.
Trump has posted, "We kidnapped Maduro." Just a couple of minutes ago on True Social, I told you it was weird that he wasn't posting about it. I guess I posted like 7 minutes too soon. What I should have realized is that the reason he hadn't posted is because the thing hadn't happened yet. Rookie mistake. Quote, the United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolás Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. There will be a news conference today at 11 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago? Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Mar-a-Lago? Do you realize how ridiculous this is? I don't even know what to say. Genuinely. I have two things to say. Number one, I've been saying from the beginning, he wanted a Noriega. Play by play. Same exact thing. Secondly, in my last post, I talked about the idea that Europe's psychological profile on Pete Hegseth has him wanting a war thing for American propaganda. More specifically, the idea was that he wanted like a SEAL Team 6 sort of thing. This is kind of hard to explain, but I have an update. I just got word that I can't actually verify that Maduro may have negotiated his exit out of Venezuela through the Miami Herald. This is unconfirmed. Also, I just realized we don't have confirmation of anything that Trump said in his post. This could be like an FBI cash patel sort of thing. This country is run by clowns and it is owned by big oil.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Eric Shawn, a New Yorker, a channeling painter, and we have the latest news. The White House confirming, according to sources, that the United States is attacking Venezuela in a military operation in these early morning hours.
Comenzó el fin de Maduro. Hoy 3 de enero de 2026 a las 2:45 a.m. comienzan bombardeos sobre Caracas, Venezuela.
Mamá huevo, qué locura. Moscaí. Mira esa mierda, explotaron ya toda esa mierda porque tú me estás explotando. Mierda, marico, se prendió el peo en esta mierda, yo. Huevo. Ay, chamo. Mamá, que pasaron aviones, sí, yo escuché. Ay, mamá, mira otra. Shit. Ay, mamá. Apaga las luces, apaga las luces. Ay, carajo. Carajo. Mira, pero ven acá, no se metan para acá, no sabemos qué hay que se queda. Sí.
A remarkable statement by President Trump on a social media post saying that the US has carried out a large
Okay, so you know how they did it. They went in there in the middle of the night. Shalom to you, Kid Gravity. I did see you in the chat. They went in there in the middle of the night, early morning hours in Venezuela, and they took in the ones that captured Maduro was the Navy SEALs that they sent down on the ground. So that's how they were able to get them. But I wonder what happened. Shouldn't your president be under security all the time? So y'all don't protect your Venezuelan president? But then again, I don't know how true what that young lady was saying about Maduro negotiated. He could have, he could have, just to keep himself alive, negotiated his way out of there. And they'll just take him to an undisclosed location. He won't go back in there as president anymore, but he'll be out and with his life. But I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. And in my opinion, very unnecessary. It was not necessary for something like this to happen. Putting all these people in harm's way. So, T-Key 116, thank you so much for the super sticker and your support from my channel. Boy, look at all the stuff that happens on the Sabbath, y'all. This military attack and the removal of the president of Venezuela. And I want y'all to think back in December when the 3-Eye Atlas did its pass by Earth. That was on the Sabbath. I'm just, showing you that many Very crucial things happen on the Sabbath. That passed by happened on the Sabbath. Yes. Welcome to their 2026. Yeah, you're right about that, Shirley. It is their new year. Mhm. Well, I think this was planned even when the boat strikes were going on. I think they already had the ground plans already even back then. I really do. I really do. Mhm. Well, I'm sure in the coming days we'll find out more information. Patricia Edmonds, thank you so much for the Cash App. I did see that come across my phone. Thank you so much. Mm. Yeah, well, you can expect almost anything with Donald Trump in charge. You can expect damn near anything with his ass in charge. Well, y'all, this is all I was bringing you today on this subject matter. I have another live coming that I actually set up yesterday, and it's a Cushite Somalian woman that insists life began on this earth in Somalia, and they are the creators of everything on this planet. So we'll talk about that and listen to her and clown her out a bit, and that'll be at 11:45. So I will see you then. Shabbat shalom, family.